We don't see your screen in the Zoom meeting.
Yes, I don't even have Twitch up yet. It's coming back. We're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of Emancipation of Dragons 25, Volo's Guide to Being Murdered. You should now see my screen minus hide self-view. Minus me, and now everyone should be in the right spots on the stream. Yes, indeed. Thank you for your patience. Apologies for that. I somewhat remember why we started recording these in advance, but we're good to go. So, you had made the OOC symbol that crashed my computer, Lou. So please continue. What were you saying?
Oh, did I find anything else of interest in the library before I tell them that I did not find anything?
Absolutely, 100% positively not.
I have a pretty fair confidence after looking over the library that there is nothing else to be guarded here. So if we would like to be away and investigate the gloves, that may be an option. Another one that would definitely pique my interest might be the why can I not Lou cannot remember her name.
Lady Sperant.
Thank you. We may want to see Lady Sperant as the host of the event may have some knowledge or insight as to those who may have wanted to disrupt such an event. And also I'd like to see her reaction to being in the ethereal plane.
Get behind that. I guess if the others are doing their investigation, we might as well see if we can either find Lady Sperant or see if we can, on our way there, see if we can see anyone with the other glove.
Well, now that we've traipsed around places and Dryzen's thrown books all over the place, go back and look at the area around the glove quick, or not quick, but take a look and see, are there any signs of which way or what the person who left the glove there may have done after depositing it?
Not that you can tell.
Well,
the only reason that you even saw the glove on that bookshelf is because the dust was
had been
disturbed, and there's not really dust on the floor per se.
Right. But there's no like finger trails leading through the dust in any particular direction, or fabric strips or hair.
Negatory Ghost Rider.
Nearly invisible diamonds lying around. Okay. Well, I don't think we should take the glove with, so can't seem to tell anything about what may have happened after the person deposited the glove. So seeing as they didn't go through the aviary and we haven't found any other exits, they must have gone out the front door.
They might have slipped out when we did, when we left to go investigate. Regrettable as it is.
Or perhaps they shifted back. If they are a part of why we shifted in the first place, they may have had an exit strategy.
True. But then what would be the point of locking us in here like this? Not to chase them? But Leo here said that no one used the lift, which would mean that they would have had to imply some sort of teleportation magics or such. I mean, we do have this stone of returning that Volo had, but we don't know where it leads, or if it would even work here, for one.
Well, I guess let us
take you back to the Shadowfell, remember?
Oh, right.
Well, let us. We were going to go find the lady of the house and see what she was up to. No, so perhaps we can use my newfound notoriety to gain an audience more easily.
Only other thing I can think of as a potential option for us to do would to be see if we can find a priest here of reasonable capability. Though our odds there are unlikely, so I think probably talking to the lady of the party might be our best course of action.
I tend to agree, but before we go, there is one thing I'd like to do, and I'm going to start casting alarm for the library, just in case somebody tries to return to the scene.
Fair enough.
And not the audible version, the mind ping version.
Very good. And what does your mind pig version sound like?
It sounds like a klaxon.
Okay. And for anyone who doesn't know what a klaxon sounds like?
That would be, imagine London is being bombed in the war. That's essentially what's going on inside my head whenever that alarm goes off.
No, you're not gonna do the sound for me?
Nope, can't.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I'm not a voice actor.
That or the red alert sound from Star Trek. That would be
That's close. Okay, perfect. So you set the alarm. You are confident that it is set. Are you? I assume you're doing it over the double doors.
Yeah. So I think I've got 20-foot cube, and so my intent is to encompass as much of that as is reasonably possible for any type of pathway that would be used through the room.
Okay.
With definitely a focus on getting it over the doors. Although I don't have the actual size. Let me see here. Yeah, 20-foot cube.
Got it. Yep. No, that's perfect. Okay. You place it. You're fairly with the 20-foot cube. You're easily going to be able to continue or cover all of the area inside the doors.
Okay.
And it does specifically state living.
Set an alarm against unwanted intrusion. Choose a door, window, or an area within range no larger than 20-foot cube. Until the spell ends, the alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area. Okay,
so then my question, just to be clear, as we're placing it, is you're placing it slightly behind the doors or covering the doors, or how are you kind of imagining that?
No, I would say that I would make it at the line of the room for when the doors open. So theoretically, if that door were to open because if somebody had to push through the door, then they would technically breach the plane, right? Essentially, at the plane of the doors and into the room in case there is movement inside of the room that does not originate from those doors.
Got it. Yep, you're set. You're confident you have a good chunk of the room contained in here. And it is successfully cast.
You take our lead.
All right, so hoping we don't set the alarm off as we walk out of the library, or were we already out of the library when he cast that?
Yeah,
no, so the with alarm, and this goes unsaid in a general sense for like the recastability of it. It's kind of like when you're having an extended conversation with message, you don't have to keep saying I cast message over and over again. You can designate creatures that don't set the alarm off, and presumably that would always be the menagerie under circumstances of this.
Yep.
Right. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I'll exit out the front door or the doors to the library. Do we see a guard nearby?
Yes, there is a guard in front of the doors.
Oh, hello there, my good sir. Our investigation has taken us to a point where we need to speak with Lady Sperant. Is it possible you could guide us to her location? If she needs to know who is requesting an audience, it is Quark of the Menagerie. Wow. Attempting to needing to speak with her on matters most urgent of our current situation.
I recommend you speak to the captain. Captain Manchester can make that introduction.
Would you be able to assist us? Captain Manchester is busy with other members of our team investigating another lead into the murder weapon. I'd rather not disturb them if at all possible.
So you want me to leave my post guarding the contents of the library?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you know where her ladyship would be?
No, that's why I'm recommending you talk to Captain Manchester.
Fair enough. Do you happen to know where they last were seen?
I am going to cast message to Captain Manchester. Captain Manchester, we believe that it may be prudent to talk to Lady Speranza. Where might we find her? This is a message, and you can reply to it if you've never had this happen to you before. And it's Leo with a Menagerie.
You hear in your head, can't say that I have, but all right. I guess I have not seen Lady Speranza for a while, but we're about to enter the ballroom. Maybe you meet us down here and we'll find her together.
Very good. And then I'll relay to Dryzen and Quark to the ballroom. They're not too far away. We'll catch up with them.
All right, then. To the ballroom we go, then.
You guys go down, and just outside the ballroom is you see Mythilis and Atali, and sure enough, the captain is there as well. And you see in the ballroom, you see Pyrene dancing to the music, and there's a small cadre of onlookers that are clapping and laughing. There's multiple people dancing. There are some people. There's some people often, some of the corners that seem visibly distressed about the whole planar shift thing, but for the most part, Pyrene's and that group don't seem to be too worried about it.
So we're all together, inclusive of Mythilis, correct?
Yes.
I thought you said that Zek brought a dead body down here. Nobody seems to be bothered by this at all.
You didn't bring it down here.
Oh,
Brought it
okay.
From the balcony to the library.
Oh, all right. I thought I misunderstood what was said earlier. Thank you.
Quite all right. Quite all right.
Do I notice anyone with missing a glove, specifically paying attention to people with a reddish brown auburnish colored hair?
Or anybody
Of the
who
female
wears their hair in braids.
Or in braids that look to have been disrupted, or hair that has recently been shorn.
So roll me perception check. That's a mighty specific set of queries. Let's see what the almighty dice say.
It's going to give me a 1.
I'm looking.
Just about.
Wow.
I'm looking for
Actual
braids.
Hades.
I can't roll above a 10 today. What the heck?
Sean, you're a little
Time
quiet.
to bust out. Time to bust out actual dice.
Sean, I think you're a little quiet. Oh, okay. I can hear you now. So, couple things you find glancing about the room right now. You don't see anyone with that color hair. You do see a couple redheads, but they're redder than the braid, and none of them look like their hair has been shorn, and none of them have braids.
Does the hair feel like facial hair, like a dwarf's plaited beard? Like, is it rough or is it soft like head hair?
I don't know that you've ever actually inspected it.
No, I haven't. May I inspect the braid?
I give him the braid. I hold out the braid to him like, you can take a walk if you want.
So what, how are you going about, explain to me what you're doing to
feel the coarseness of the hair. Like you can
Snip it.
like if I run my hand over my beard.
I didn't know if you were doing anything else. That's why I'm kind of asking for clarification.
Yeah, you should
give it a whiff,
taste
see if
it.
it smells like shampoo or soap, or if it smells more like food
Great.
or beer, ale.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give me just 1 second. I don't know why. We broke Mitchell, apparently.
Mitchell's broken, yes.
We're in a big party room, and he just went over to my hand and is now petting a braid. It's my
Well,
braid in my hand and then sniffing
He's
it.
doing it. He's doing it discreetly. I'm sure.
He's a thief.
Can he roll for that?
Yeah, I think he needs to roll.
I do.
hand,
I
and
actually
he's
want you to
sniffing
make
up
a nature check, Methelus.
Okay. Dude, roll 20 hates me. Like,
Okay, and then the other thing I want you to do.
Sean, can you remind me if in character Methelus is aware that he was charmed? You are, right?
he wasn't charmed, but what Pyrene said seemed to be such a good suggestion that I couldn't find any reasonable excuse not to do it. I could have not done it, whatever she was asking of me, but
Sure.
it just seemed so reasonable that I decided to do it.
So it would not be self-evident to Methelus himself in that case, correct? He would have the recollection that that was a fairly normal interaction with
Right.
somebody
He didn't-
that he was just responding normally to.
Right. It
Okay.
just, we should go wait in line over there because the line's shorter. Okay, that seems like a good idea. Yeah. It just seemed like a good idea. All right. And I need to remember.
Methelus.
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Whoa. What am I doing over there?
Anything particularly interesting, friend?
He's still petting it.
Fair enough. Since I'm holding it, would I notice anything unusual about it?
One second.
Okay.
Let me resolve one thing at a time. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm pretty sure this is how it's done.
Yes, thank you. Okay, yeah. And that's the correct plus on it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
As this resolves, I'm going to, because Dryzen and Methelus seem to be tied up, Korkatali. That Pyrene, the elf over there that seems unnaturally popular, she's the one that I was attempting to follow earlier that seemed to disappear off the lift. I did not think that she was in this statue. I also think that she's employing some type of social manipulation. In some part of it, it may be some type of magical efforts she's imploring upon others. I don't know if it's as strong as a charm. It might be a suggestion or something of that nature. Perhaps what a bard might use to get a little extra coin from a patron or something of that nature. But it seems bizarre. She seemed to want to be isolated from me or anybody and went to great lengths in order to appear as though she was attempting to lose a tail, even though I didn't think that she would have had any reason to indicate that I may have been interested in her presence. So if something happens or goes sideways, just be mindful of that one.
It's funny you mentioned that because normally whenever I'm trying to get more coin from people, I don't use any spells. I just use a knife. And we did find a knife. So you might be onto something.
Interesting analysis. She's been here for quite some time, so this likely wouldn't be a spell, but an item of some sort she is employing.
Perhaps.
Would we be able to detect it on her?
perhaps. What are the circumstances? Mark, are you ready?
Yeah. Yes, I actually need Dryzen to.
Yeah.
You can respond in out loud. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Mostly touch, I guess. Maybe. I guess I'll give it like a light whiff.
Okay.
And of course visually, but
Right. Yeah. Okay. So give me do one thing for me. Hold on. So yeah, Meathless, basically looks it over, says it feels like a woman's. It's soft. It's not coarse, and hands it back to Dryzen, who then starts to examine it as well. But yes, Leo, what do you wish to do at this point? Itali, what do you wish to do? Quark, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna try to look into this lady that Leo pointed out.
What's the radius on detect magic?
That is a great question. Is it on your character
I am
sheet?
pulling it up.
Because if it's on your sheet, you can just click the little I button or the
Just
little
within 30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah. So you would just have to get closer.
I'd have to get close, and to cast it as a ritual, I'd have to get her locked into place for 10 minutes.
100%.
Which is not happening. So my concern is that if we see any form of combat, especially given that we're on the ethereal plane at the moment, I wish to conserve my magical power, but for me to be able to cast as a ritual, I need her within 30 feet of me for 10 minutes, which seems very unlikely.
We can try. Like, for how long do you need them to stand still?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Were they there when Quark told the story about how the whole dragon party thing?
I don't know if Pyrene was in attendance for that.
Mark?
That was not part of the group. No, they were off in a different corner.
What if we go up to her
That's a good question, Meathless. Hold on one second. I'll find out.
and tell Quark and myself and Meathless do the same thing we did last time to tell the story? We could pretend like we're just trying to keep people calm and whatnot. And while we retell the story, you can do your whole detect magic thing.
You're correct, Meathless. So again, if you would, please.
I don't know how well she'll respond to somebody else having attention or limelight upon them. Perhaps a more
Atali,
generalized conversation.
What if Atali was to start a song about her?
I'm more of the storytelling bard than the musical bard, but I can try.
A story may work just as well. An ode,
I'll
as
give it a
were.
shot. I will give it a shot. So,
What is detect magic? It is a first level divination. Leo needs to look something up. Lou needs to look something up for Leo.
so is this lady like surrounded by her friends?
She's surrounded
She
by
is
other
surrounded
people.
by
She's-
other people interested
Yeah,
in her.
other people interested in her. There's quite a few sitting on chairs and cushions, and then the piano is there, and the piano player is playing light waltz at the moment. So there's like probably about 40 people around her in her vicinity.
Verbal
All right,
and some.
Gonna go ahead and give it a shot.
It's going to be too obvious.
Is it?
As ritual casting, because you need to, when you ritual cast, you still need to fulfill the other requirements for it, like a verbal and a somatic requirement still exist, right? I couldn't just
Yes.
like go like lean on a wall somewhere and be like, 10 minutes of this is going to make it so that this happens, right?
Well, I mean, you could lean on the wall and you could try and quietly mutter the verbal and, you know, make your hand gestures.
You understand I could hide, right? I could hide and do this. And I'm really good at hiding. And you could do the minor illusion part of the storytelling or retelling.
Yeah, can do. If we can, the difficulty is to keep her fixed in a position for long enough. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. And if I see her start to walk away, wherein I think that I will be able to very quickly get a 6-second time frame for a cast off on a detect magic. I'm going to ready detect magic essentially in case it seems as though she's going to move out of Methuselah's range.
Okay. Yeah.
What is range on detect magic?
30 feet.
Oh,
It's a 30-foot radius from the caster.
okay. We want me to try stealthing first to hide, or to stealthily cast.
Yes, please. You like there was a shadow and Methuselah stepped into it and it's completely out of sight of everyone.
As we move forward, I will be pushing Quark slightly aggressively in that direction. And it's like, go, go, go. Now's the time.
Yep, come on. Let's go retell this story.
Or are we not doing the ode plan?
We're doing a mix-up of the old plan. Instead, we
So what-
replace
So
Methuselah
like-
with Sean, or Methuselah with Leo, or
Mhm.
yeah.
what exactly is the plan right now?
You're
plan-
casting detect
Yep.
magic as a ritual,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to keep her distracted for 10 minutes so that you're not wasting your magical ability by casting it at first level.
Okay, and we're just looking to see if Lady Pyrene or
If anything lights up for any type of magical thing, but specifically with a focus on Pyrene and keeping her in a location long enough so that we can get a detect magic off on her.
All right, game
Just
on.
seems
Heard.
to have an unnatural effect on the crowd. So we're trying to determine if it's an object or something.
And so I know what Quark is doing and I know what Leo is doing. Itali, how are you contributing to this plan?
Me, I was the one that played music during the time
Right.
when
So you're playing music, you're playing flute, that's right. And then Dryzen, how are you going to contribute to the performance?
Dryzen can help by if she tries to walk away, kind of
Yeah.
like
I'm gonna
stand in the way.
stay
Chop
near
blocker?
the. I'm gonna stay near the entrance just to survey the area.
Okay.
And after pocketing the braid again, I'm just gonna put it back in one of my various pouches and pockets.
Okay. Perfect. With that being said, please approach and start your trench run.
Are you going to make
All
me
right.
role play this? Okay, here we go. Let me.
Are you waiting till the current dance is ended, or are you going mid dance, or how are you approaching this?
Yeah, I think we're working our way up to, as long as she seems to be staying in the same general vicinity during the dance while the song is going on. We'll kind of let that chew up some time. We're
Yeah.
just kind of standing there.
I mean, when it's a slow song, she is in a smaller circle, but when it's a fast song, she's in a slightly larger circle. But if Methuselah is somewhere around area you think he is, that shouldn't be a problem.
Doesn't detect magic last for like 10 minutes or an hour or something?
It does.
Like I can cast it in a corner by myself and then walk over. Like,
Yeah.
Like we don't have to keep her in a small spot. It'll last long enough for me to
100%.
walk around and.
But even so, you think that where you're located currently, yep, I mean, unless you actually are going to a corner, where you decided to stealth yourself, you.
Oh no, I was just saying that it's not required.
Yeah, this is
that
all
she
a
be
moot
within
point.
30,
As long as
30 feet of me.
we don't
Yep.
have
When
to
I
keep her
cast
within
it
30.
because
Yep.
I can
It's good.
walk within 30 feet after
Well,
I
then-
casted it.
Yeah.
Well, then I would say our alternative plan is just making sure she doesn't leave the room. So we don't need to engage our storytelling unless it looks like she's going to walk out the ballroom for some reason.
Suddenly, she tries to walk out the ballroom.
Only if I wanted to torment Matt, and I do not, so that's fine. That's hilarious. You had a great opportunity for roleplay, and you're like, nope, I don't need to do that now. Got it.
I did
Got
that
it.
once already. I don't need
Yeah, but
to
it
do
could get
that.
better with each retelling. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
it could.
Good.
It could.
Um,
That's more Atali's
yeah.
world.
I don't know. He does a great flute trill. So, all right, fair
I
enough.
was gonna Bard help you out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bardic inspiration that thing up, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Gonna give
you know,
him a little bit of bardic inspiration to help him tell this story because we really need it.
But if you don't want to tell the story, that's fine.
The way I'm rolling tonight, if I don't have to roll to persuade somebody to not chase them away actively, I'm gonna.
Fair. So yeah, she continues to dance, and she changes partners every so often, and everyone, you know, sometimes it's a male, sometimes it's a female, and everyone is, you know, it's a weird energy. It's kind of a mix of wholesome attraction and flirtatious energy and you know, somewhat scandalous at the same time. You just get that kind of feeling, but nothing overtly sinister or anything. She's just having a good time, and it seems like she's making the most of the dancing. And Methelus, you finish your ritual, and what would you like to do?
Walk and view the room, looking for obviously magical energy,
So
especially coming from Pyrene.
yeah, so I'm gonna break this up in sections. Section 1, the walls of the outer wall is bright magic. None of the inner walls are, yeah. So the statue itself seems to have some kind of magic imbued in it. The guests, for the most part, someone may have some small magic item, but nothing of note. However, Pyrene herself is emanating almost as strongly as the walls to the statue.
So she's not a half elf. Or no. Okay. So it's not something on her. It's her herself.
That's what it would appear, yes.
As in like a disguise spell? Or a change self or whatever it is?
Detect magic tells us the
It
school,
tells you the
right?
school, yeah. Yeah, except that's a little bit different when it's a person. So I don't know how to. I mean, I guess it would be.
Would it be a transmutation or enchantment? Enchantment?
Well, if there wasn't an enchantment upon her, sure. But since there's not, I'm not sure how to answer the question.
Is it a conjuration?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question.
Okay.
Well, I will message to Leo and Quark and Itali, each of them individually, that Pyrene herself seems to be emanating magic, not an item, but the total of who she is.
So my short... I guess why you're trying to break me. I guess the answer would be divination, enchantment, and evocation.
Ooh.
I guess. That's it's when you see it, it's as confusing to you as it is to me. So that's the short answer I would give. Those are the things you see. You see other I'm going to say that's what you see. Because, like, I get it when you're using it on an item, but if someone were to scan you, Leo, do they see every spell that you know? Or do they see any spells at all because it's not manifest? Or do they see... But in this case, there's other things that I can't... So I'm going to stick with enchantment, divination, and evocation. But it's confusing to you as well, Methelus. But that's what you got.
What are the walls of the statue? The outside walls you said?
They're maybe stone.
No. Globe. What magic are they?
Oh. They are... You would ask me that. I don't know. Hold on.
So apart from one or two or three or whatever small things that some guests have that aren't very magical, they seem to be small magical.
I would say that the walls are both conjuration and transmutation and evocation.
So something that makes them magical statues.
Yes.
Okay.
And also
other than
moves
the walls, them. Right. Other than the walls and the outer part of the statue itself, and the small things from the guests, only Pyrene emanates magic the way in that manner.
Correct.
Okay. Then I will relate this to my party members. While it's still active, I want to kind of walk upstairs and just look around the library, see if it's something we didn't notice before. Well, we can cast that later. I'll stay with the group.
Okay.
Because Pyrene seems to be interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else?
Yep.
What was the difference between Pyrene and the walls? You said the walls were also... They were transmutation, evocation.
I keep closing that window and then you keep asking me again. Sorry.
The whole point of the question is to see if there is an indication of similarity between Pyrene and the statue itself. Like if Leo,
I would say no.
InfoWars.
Yeah, I would say no. Whereas the statue is a like an object and that is magically enchanted and reads as such, Pyrene is a sliding, changing wave. So it doesn't even seem like it's the same thing.
I'm going to cast message to Manchester. Are you familiar with the guest list for the party in terms of who was meant to be here and who's not?
Aye.
Are you familiar with that woman there, Pyrene?
Stand by. Aye, she was added to the list a couple of weeks ago.
By Lady Sparant, or by Volo, or by yourself? Were there multiple people allowed to add people to the guest list?
I don't know who added her to the list.
But there were multiple people who could add names to the guest list?
Aye.
Primary of which would be Lady Sparant herself, correct?
Lady Sparant actually has nothing to do with the list. She's just the benefactor of the party.
So was it mostly Volo in charge of the guest list?
Do you know Master Volo well?
All
Well,
too brief,
you
but
know, I mean-
reasonably.
Yeah, then you would know
He
that.
gave us a tavern.
That's quite generous, but if you knew Master Volo at all, anything entrusted to his care, let's just say he probably let everyone add people to the list. I don't know how most of these people got on the list.
Well, that makes the two of us then. Well, how do we confront Pyrene? Or I don't know.
I cast Firebolt.
Would I know enough about the arcane, the sense of what he's talking about and what it might indicate?
I think, you know what? I actually owe you a roll. Make me a nature check.
Where does that go? Okay, there we go. Boop. Hey, I rolled above 10.
Well,
You did.
rolled a 10.
Actually, technically, you rolled a 10, but yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So the short answer is no. You have no
Okay.
idea what he's talking about. I mean, you
Okay.
kind of get it, but you've never seen anything like that yourself. So
Okay.
So,
Even given my background, it wouldn't appear anything like that.
So here's the deal. I'm just going to make this blanket OOC statement now. I'm just going to flat out say that detect magic does not work on people with magical potential, right? It's only going to work
Right.
on
Seems-
Objects and
active
active spells.
magic or magic embedded in objects. So I think you see where I'm going with this, Dresden.
Yeah,
Dryzen.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, you would have no knowledge of that.
I don't. We seem to be at a bit of a crossroads here. She does seem to like attention, and I seem to draw an unwanted amount of it of late. Maybe I should ask the lady for a dance.
If you think that'll do us some good, go right on ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
I don't know what that'll accomplish, though.
Well, I have interrogated a person once or twice in my life. I might be able to draw something out of her.
Just be careful. If that magic is as strong or as complex as Meathless is saying, don't know what it could do.
Well, as Atalia is fond of pointing out, I do have a bird brain, so perhaps that will help resist such things. So, Quark waits for the next break in the action and approaches Lady Pyrene and, Milady, would I have the pleasure of the next dance?
She cocks her head. You were about to say?
I'm going to, kind of just say, you got this, Lord Quark. And while I'm saying that, I'm pretty much trying to use Inspire Greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, that's this right here.
Okay.
That way he pretty much gets a +5 on all his checks and whatnot.
And how long does that run for?
Let's see.
Number of rounds equal to his bard level.
So, what are you, 4 right now?
Yep.
For like 30 seconds. 24 seconds.
24 seconds. Okay, got it. Sure. Perfect. Quark, you feel, with Atali cheering you on. Actually, Atali, what are you saying to Quark to inspire greatness in him?
To inspire greatness to him?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing I always tell him. As much fun as it would be to loot his body, not today. Don't let today be that day.
And Quark, even though it's kind of morbid, you feel greatly inspired by those words.
Hey, Atali wishing me not to be dead is enough to inspire me. That seems to define our relationship.
And he wants to loot your body. I'm just following the rest of the thought out there that he actually threw out there.
He's hoping to find my stash of rats.
I don't know. Hey.
So yeah, I guess slightly more confidently, I would say, rather than ask maybe for the dance. I don't know. Demanding would be too forward, even for him. Inspired.
She actually, was the partner that she was dancing with. She kind of said something to, and they went to leave, and she was still kind of swaying in the music, kind of feeling it. And then as soon as you walk up, all confident and everything, she actually blinks a few times, says, Are you a bird person?
Yes, my lady, I am of a race known as the Aarakocran. I am a aviary person.
I'm sorry to ask it that way, but I don't believe I've ever seen anyone like you.
We are not common in these parts. I am a part of an adventurer group that has come from all across this and other realities to, come together, and we've got a tavern we're opening in town here called the Troll Skull Manor. We've been on several adventures.
She puts a finger to your lips, or beak lips, however that works. Yes, she puts a finger to it and says, "Dance more." And she takes you by your wing and your hand and begins to start dancing with you.
Dance with me.
She says, "Tell me more about this tavern."
Oh yes, it is the Troll Skull Manor? Troll Skull Manor. Yeah, Troll Skull Manor. We received it as a reward for one of the first missions we accomplished in the city here, and from Volo. We've been working on it, fixing it up. We've got a unique